Dzień dobry Państwu. Welcome everyone. I will switch to English to be understood by every who decided to join this meeting. My name is Krzysztof Smolko. I am field application engineer working for STMicroelectronics. My company is a global semiconductor manufacturer, which at first sight maybe is not very well fitting the topic, the trend, my trend of this meeting, but I will just say you a few words concerning security. We are now in the process of dynamic development of something what someone called Internet of Things. It's some crazy name for something that not everyone understands correctly. And okay, of course, even if the concept is great, there are some aspects of this that are not well understood by some people. We are now driven by some slogans like, let's use from the commercial side, more for less. Okay, sounds good, but what is the final result of this slogan? We cannot get more for less infinitely. There is some barrier, the end, which we reach, the wall, and finally, it makes no sense to save more, especially when we talk about security. Internet of Things and generally every system consists from source of information, left side of our screen, and some receiver, collector of this information. And by definition, there is some link in between those two. The problem is that the link is very often exposed to the world by definition and could be attacked, affected by some not very friendly to us people. Until we stay with this top left box, means smart devices, which are somehow more expensive because they are more clever, we could add some extra safety, security, extra effort to guarantee integrity of the system. However, when we step down to the simple things which are supposed to dominate all the Internet of Things markets, the price becomes the driving factor, and it's not so mandatory that we could add anything else, because in mass volume production it is important. Even a few cents multiplied by millions brings us a lot of money. So with those red points, I tried to show which fragments of the system are exposed for hacking. As you see, practically every point could be affected somehow. So, what are the threats? We can read time to time on the newspapers, see it on TV, that someone has broken some protection. This one just stopped a car when driving, another one just hacked some other devices. There were jokes some time ago that someone changed the code for the intelligent door lock and the owner couldn't enter the home. Or someone else was joking that through this just hacked door lock, another one just entered the system and just hacked the fridge. And the fridge ordered some dozens of boxes of beer. Until we stay at this level is funny, a bit costly, but not damaging. Okay? However, if we come further, and in example here, there is the traffic system, the light control at the city level. Hacking of this system and setting, say, all the green lights everywhere could drive us to some very dangerous situation. And this is pretty easy. The same for energy. It's pretty common that now all the energy system of the country is driven by computers, not people. No one could do it in real time, so computers do. And then if someone will hack this system, no comments, blackout. So what could we do? How could we understand and classify all the dangers, the threats we could see? First point is I would say the lowest level in terms of dangers is just the data corruption and eavesdropping. If someone would like to know what we do, or just do the joke and say that we use 2,000 cubic meters of hot water, it's okay, this is a good point. But this is not dangerous. Next level is device counterfeiting. This is more dangerous, because all the systems should be trusted and should trust to each other. If someone will replace trusted part of the system with his own, which will cheat the system saying that he is X, but being in fact Y, it's a problem. And here we need some form of authentication to be sure that we really talk to each other and we know each other. Another point very often met, and this is what you usually hear discuss, is the denial of access. Means that we attack all the system on the server level and we stop its operation. So all the system malfunctions and stops. And yes, this is what we could expect from our friends which try to make our life more funny. So how to protect each other from this? The first is just authentication. It's a method how to know that we really talk to each other and we know each other. So to authenticate, we need some mechanisms that guarantee that we can do it. The first of these is certificate. It's a kind of a secret we store somewhere. It could be a file, encrypted one, or something else. And also the key for safe, secure transmission, data transmission, because finally, after authentication, it's end up with data transmission. So when we finally authenticate and we exchange those keys, we can start data exchange. It is important step to understand that all the safety of data communication is based on this authentication. So the way how we protect all the certificates, all the keys, is crucial for the system complexity, system stability, and could guarantee. If this is very basic example, let's say that we talk about simple energy meter. This is very modern trend to use automated measurement infrastructure, yes, all the intelligent water, gas, energy meters, which measure without human being action. They collect the data and send those data to the servers. And those data are the base to send you, to issue an invoice to you, and you pay for this. If someone will cheat the data, you will pay for him, in example, okay? So this is important. Okay. What form of attack can we expect? The first, the most common in the internet especially, is the attack from outside. Means that attacker, the hacker namely, has no access to the physical system, but has an access to the media, the data transmission media, like an internet, okay? So this is mainly based on some system flows and known holes in the system. Here we cannot do much. We have to just base on the competences of the system administrators and creators. However, when we step down, we have some other forms of the attack, especially if system contains some hardware, and this is typically like this. And when the attacker has an access to the physical device, situation is much worse. It worsens a lot. Because attacker can enter the box, touch the device, enter some signals, analyze the signals, okay? So here we have much higher danger. And the worst case ever is when attacker is just having such a device, can open it, deassemble, and even have an access to the crucial components inside. This is some kind of integrated circuit which performs some actions, yes? Typical form of attack now is that those devices are simply decapsulated. Simple words meaning the package is removed and only the silicon inside is exposed, is available. And then they use some form of scanning electron microscope to analyze the data, to read the data, and this way it's pretty easy to read out all the code and data from the chip. So if we use this, if we face this form of attack, this is the most dangerous ever. How could we fight against? If we just focus on the second form of attack, means that the attacker has an access to the hardware, but no way to decapsulate device, we could use some form of safe devices. Devices which guarantee protection of memory content from reading out without opening the package. Okay? It's pretty easy. But if we focus on the third step, it's not enough, because such devices are commercial grade and they do not provide any specific method to protect the data inside. If attacker has an access to the device, can remove the package, it's pretty easy to read out the data from even protected memory inside. Okay? So in this case, the only way is to use another device which is made with different approach, different technology in mind, guaranteeing somehow that the data which are inside are safe from this form of attack. In case of my company I represent here, for the second step, we can offer for you plenty devices, especially from the STM32 family. Not only. Don't focus on the hardware now, just a question of the idea. If we talk about third step, we also offer to you some secure devices which are made with this form of attack in mind. Everything, both families, are based on ARM cores, designed with specific approach. This first is a commercial grade, nothing inside. The second is done using specific technologies. In example, to protect the content of memory from reading out, there is a specific film, metal film over the device as a last step of production, which physically disables this form of scanning. Also, trying to remove this film, metal film, damages all the device because it is also electrically connected and is used to conduct some information. So this is important. To go a little bit deeper into details, it looks like this, that when we use just the generic micro, there is an application inside, and those red and black lines, something what is crucial for security, means all the keys and certificates. Okay? If attacker gets an access to these, our system is like a baby, no security. The second case is like this, but only application is still kept on the main micro, while all the critical data are moved out to these secure elements, okay? Which is done with this. This particular one I just talk here, the STSAFE series, is fulfilling all the EAL5+, means more than these 5 requirements, which is important for you. This is the highest class available to date. So, to guarantee the safety, we as a manufacturer, we also have to guarantee that the device, the secure device itself, is also safe. Okay? So we just do some steps during production to guarantee this. We have dedicated computer network which is out of the main network. It's not connected to the internet. So this is to keep safety from the hackers. We use dedicated architecture, and we also use very specific technology to guarantee that it is not easy. Okay, to be honest, there is no technology in the world which guarantees you 100% security. Be sure. But we do our best to guarantee as much as possible here, okay? So if someone will tell you our chip is completely unbreakable, it's not true. It's a question of how money would you like to pay to break it. This is the common truth. This is a scenario how the authentication could look like. This is the very basic scenario. This is SSL. I guess everyone here knows it perfectly, so I don't need to go into details. Don't lose the time. But this form of authentication based only on X509 protocol, not enough. It's easy to break. So we rather prefer, we tend to use TLS 1.2 version, or SSL 3.1 is more or less same. Why SSL is not easy? SSL, ladies and gentlemen, is 30 years old. It was published in, as I remember, 88. So it's a very old standard, changed meanwhile. This is version 3 now. So this is the way we communicate. And again, please notice that everywhere here on the left and right side, there are some boxes containing certificates and keys. And those are secure storage places where those keys are kept. So going to conclusion, because my time is expiring. Security is a main factor now to be sure that what we do is just what we want to do. It's not driven by someone else. To be sure that our company, our activity is secure, we should do internal review to understand which points of our activity are mainly exposed for the attack. And then we have to define our own policy just to be deployed, because please remember that every system, even the most complex and expensive, is as strong as the weakest chain of the system. Especially in terms of IoT, system is very unsafe because it's composed of plenty of devices, cheap and weak. As ST, we offer you such a funny picture, systems which could enable you easy and fast development using our micros and our secure platforms. Especially, we offer to everyone free tools like this system. We name this ODE, Open Development System, which enable you to compose your own system in 1-2 days. We offer you free libraries, which are downloadable from our website, which enable you to do this. And I hope that the device will become your friend. If those few minutes of my presentation would raise some interest on your side, you are kindly welcome to our stand, which is in the middle of this hall. It will be a pleasure for me and for our staff to see you. You are welcome. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.